Welcome back, and many thanks for your company here on the TV. But just before we went on the break, we've been talking about our West Africa Senior Certificate Examination, and this has become topical also in Parliament. And the Education Minister, Dr. Yaw Osei-Aduchum, has been answering questions bordering on issues on the education front. And amongst others, he stated that the government will be instituting a probe or commissioning a probe into the performance or the abysmal performance of these candidates in the just ended WASSCE examinations. We've been talking about that it poses a national security threat as well. But Peter Lanchini Tobu also has been speaking about these concerns. Issues about textbooks is what he raised in Parliament.
Areas went up, others were dipped, but when you put it on average, it's still 60%. Social studies also saw an increase. On the other hand, I just want to assure you that mathematics should not see a dip in my time. As some mathematics, what went wrong and what we can do, which schools did so well, we are going to look at how best to ensure that we move up. Is that 2 years in a row, we have in the core subjects seen 50% plus pass rate, which means that most.
Why? Because we all know that just a little over 51% passed this results, and we understand that from A1 to C6 accounted for over 50% of the people who will be able to have the opportunity to go to the tertiary education. But we also want to look at the other 40% who may not be able to have an access to tertiary education. We want to understand because, yes, 50% passed, but is it not very possible that we can get 70% or 80% passing? Why is that a challenge? Well, when you do some level of comparative analysis, you realize that Nigeria is doing far better than that of Ghana in the area of English and maths. Why is it that we don't have good maths teachers? Or, like somebody say, mathematics anxiety among Ghanaian students? How about the English? Recently, a professor at the university, one of the universities, I will not want to mention the name, was interacting with some colleagues. And, the professor was expressing some worrying trends of how students at the university are using shorthand in their writing during examination. And it's quite bizarre. The use of certain, unconventional languages to answer examination questions. So we know that Ghana, we value English language. The way we speak it, the way we write it, it's something that we do not joke with it. But the modern trend is something else. So as we are jubilating that, yes, over 50% passed, how about the rest? The over 45% who did not, who couldn't pass? What happens to them? Why did they fail? What is the challenge? We want to look at it, especially as we are experiencing some declines in mathematics and English. Stay with us. This is Decision Point. My name is Kwadwo Jantuah. But first, let's understand some elements and facts from Eugene Osei-Tutu. Eugene, good evening.
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
All right, so what can you tell us?
So, Nana, I'm just looking at quickly some trend analysis when it comes to Ghana's WASSCE results performance in the 4 key core subject areas, which is English, mathematics, social studies, and integrated science. Then I'll come to the regions, and I'll show you the regions that are performing much better when it comes to WASSCE results.
Yeah.
And I'll finally end with some trend analysis and data from WAEC comparing Ghana with our neighbors in the West African sub-region. So, Joe, let's go to picture 1. When you take the picture on our Facebook page, and I want everybody to go to our Facebook page, LUV 99.5 FM on Facebook. When you go to 2015, you notice that English, for those who passed, which is A1 to CC, we had 50.29. Then in 2016, we shot up to 54.19. In 2017, we reduced to 54%. In 2018, we did 46%. In 2019, we did 48%. In 2020, we did 57%. And in 2021, we did 54%. So clearly, you can see that we are oscillating. We go up and we come down. When you come to mathematics, and now 2015, we did 29%.
And we are entreating people to join us on our Facebook wall and see for yourself the trends of
mathematics.
Maths.
Okay. So 2015, we did just 29%, 29.75.
So between A1 to C6.
Yes, 29%
for mathematics.
Yeah, those who pass and can go to tertiary institution, be it the universities or the technical universities.
Wow. So 2015 they didn't do well.
Yeah, 29%. Then we came to 32% in 2016. We did 42%. We dropped further to 33% in 2018. We shot up.
So 2017 was 42%.
Yes.
2018
was 33%.
33%.
Then 2019 we came to 65%.
Okay,
that
so
was great.
2019 they did well.
Yes. And in 2020, that was the best year for commerce in the last 6-7 years. We did 65.71%. Then we reduced to 54.11%. So again, you can see the oscillating trends in there. The results are not constant. When it comes to social studies, which is fairly okay.
Please join us on Facebook and see for yourself the analysis. Now we are doing some basic analysis on students with quality grades, and we have, pulled from 2015 throughout 2021. We are looking at English and Maths. And if, based on what we are watching, it does appear from 2015, we did not do well in terms of mathematics. Yes. A1 to C6 were low.
Yes. Yeah. So, as again, our results are oscillating. When it comes to social studies, we did 51% in 2015. We did 47 in 2016. We did 52 in we did 47 in 2016. We did 52.25 in 2017. We did 73.27 in 2018. We did 75.43 in 2019. And maintained the same figure for 2020. So that is our biggest ever hit
for social
75% social studies. And in 2021, we did 65.7. When it comes to integrated science, again, it was very bad. We were doing just 23% in 2015.
Yeah.
Then in 2021, we are doing 66.03%.
Wow.
So it means that integrated science is growing up, and that is the biggest we've ever recorded. That is 2021. Now, Joe, if you go to the picture 2, when it comes to the regions that are performing well with WASSCE, when you compare the 2020, for example, WASSCE results, for example, and you take the percentages from A1 to C6, you notice that the Bono and the Half region are the best schools. They are performing better when it comes to WASSCE results.
That's interesting.
Because they are mostly the smallest regions. Their base is not that big compared to the Greater Accra, the Ashanti region, or the Central region. They are recording close to, when you total the averages, about 90% pass rate in the 4 core areas: commerce, integrated science, social studies, and English. So when it comes to passing these 4 subjects, when you aggregate the entire score on these 4 subjects, they are getting about 90%. When you go to Hafo region, they are hitting about 87%. When you go to Bunu East, they are recording about 79%. The Ashanti region, for example, is dancing around 61.07%. The Greater Accra region is also dancing around 47.14%. So it may kid you to know that, because you are in the city, the urban areas, you are doing more when it comes to WASSCE results. No. When you aggregate the score,
right,
Bunu region is performing better. And interesting, look at the schools in red.
In red, okay, that's Volta, Upper West.
Poor performing schools.
North, East, Upper East, Northern, and Savannah.
Yes.
Okay.
Interestingly, when you take the Ghana Statistical Service report of 2020, you notice that the poorest districts or the poorest regions, these regions are noted in there.
Wow.
Yes. So, Joe, let's do just spectacular, then I'll leave it for Chris to go. Now, we are talking about Nigeria doing far better.
Yeah.
When you do the trends of WASSCE results according to WAEC, from 2018, 2019 to 2023 years.
So these are the countries who participate in the WASSCE.
Yes.
Gambia, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria,
Yes.
and Sierra Leone.
Yes,
Okay.
when you aggregate the score for mathematics, for example, when you take further mathematics, this is elective maths.
Okay.
Whilst Gambia was doing in 2018 doing 62.29%,
Yeah.
Ghana was doing 46.56%. So Gambia was performing better
In math.
in further maths, elective maths, what you call elective maths.
Yeah.
When you go to Nigeria, they were doing 76.64%.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This one between 2018 and 2020. So
Yes.
that 2018 they did 76%, whilst
Yes.
Ghana were doing 46%.
Yes. This has nothing to do with population. We are just comparing their past percentages.
All right.
When it comes to 2019, the same further mass, we increased to 49.91%, 48.91%.
Okay.
Nigeria also increased to 78.81%.
Wow.
So you notice that Nigeria is always leading us.
In terms of mathematics.
Further mathematics. Now, Joe, let's go to even the English. The English is, I think, picture 4. When you go to English, because you may think that we speak, no, it's picture 6.
Okay, all
Picture
right.
6. You think that we speak better English, they speak the broken English. But then I look at English.
Wow.
In 2018, when we aggregate our score, we were doing 46.79%. Nigeria was doing 57.17%. 15%, sorry, 57.15.
That's interesting.
In 2019, we did 49.06. They did 71.52.
Okay.
In 2020, we did 57.17. Nigeria did 76.64.
So they are far ahead.
They
in
are
terms
far
of
ahead.
mathematics
And
and
the
also
secret.
in English.
The secret is our basic school system. When you go to Nigeria, they still maintain our O-level system, where the junior high school and the SHS are together for 6 solid years. By a year, we broke it down. So there's a kind of a neglect when it comes to the basic level, and we are only focusing on the SHS level. And when it comes to mathematics and English, the experts like Chris will tell you that when the foundation is wrong, you cannot build on a wrong foundation.
That's interesting.
So then I will end it here.
Thank you very much, Eugene Osei-Tutu, our fact checker. This is Decision Point on Love 99.5. My name is Nana Jantuah. So we are looking at the WASSCE result, and it does appear Nigeria is doing far better than that of Ghana, and it's a cause for concern. I know the kind of politics that we do here, but this is about education, and if you do the trend analysis, we are not doing so well. Let's try and talk to Chris Danso, who is an educational psychologist. Chris, thank you very much for joining us on Decision Point.
Yeah, thank you, my brother, and good evening.
All right, great. So, I mean, if you speak to the people who had access to OA level, the kind of English and maths that they were exposed to, how they could write stories, and then look at the late 2000s. But if you do a critical analysis from 2015 thereabout, it does appear, although Ghana, we are on it, but the figures are not looking so good. Why should English and maths be a difficulty in this country?
Well, good evening once again, my brother, and good evening to our cherished listeners. Eugene is also doing well with his figures. Well, from an educational point of view and a psychological point of view, I will say that we have to look at our syllabus once again. You know, I normally don't like comparing the OA levels to the current JHS, SHS stuff because they are two different things together. When you look at the content of what was treated those days as compared to now, you will see the differences. So they have a case, yes, during our time, we were good in mathematics, but can we look at the content? I mean, the volume of the content being covered there as compared to this current generation. So it's a cause of worry. Teachers will not be able to complete their syllabus because of how voluminous it is. It is stuck with a whole lot of stuff that to me is not necessary. So we have to stick to what is important. and then we should streamline the syllabus so that it will fit for the current purpose. With the figures, you are not supposed to do that comparison, because when you do, you should also be comparing the content being treated as at that time and what is being treated now. They are not the same. So obviously you not get the same results. Yeah.
So Nigeria is doing far better. What is it about Nigeria and what is it about Ghana? Because we thought that certain basic things we should have been doing well.
Exactly. Nigeria is doing far better. You see, there is one thing about analysis. When you are doing analysis, you factor in a lot of things. Okay. For instance, population-wise, Ghana is nowhere near Nigeria. And if we are going by the layman's view, for every 10 people, we expect, let's say, 2 brilliant students. When you select 10 people from Ghana and you select 10 people from Nigeria, it is obvious that you will get 4 brilliant people from the 10 from Nigeria and get 2 brilliant people from the team from Ghana. Why? Because of population size. Secondly, how examination is being conducted in Nigeria. Of course, I have not researched so much into Nigeria, but I have friends there. How examination is conducted in Nigeria, if you compare it to Ghana, the strictness that is applied here outweighs what is applied in Nigeria, and I can give you proof. So it is not a wonder that some people will prefer their awards to come in school, majority will come in school in Ghana, other than being in Nigeria, because their system, excuse me to say, have got some loopholes that will allow these things to go on. But if you want to be objective, the way and manner we are strict with examination when it comes to Ghana, I can say is one of the best in West Africa so far, although we are not there yet. So obviously, the pass percentage, you have an issue. 1, population size count. 2, monitoring during the examination also counts a lot. So that's why we have to always be careful when we are comparing. If it were to be like Ashanti region and a certain region, then we have a case. But how we do our things in Ghana here might be slightly different from how things are done in a different country. So when we are comparing, we have to compare all these things, right? From
but Chris, we are talking about WASSCE, which is a West African thing. So obviously, we cannot exclude it and make it only a country, because we are looking at 5 countries who are participating in this particular course. And so Gambia, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, we are going to look at it from those perspectives and not that of taking Ghana as a case study.
Perfect. So that is what I'm saying, that in as much as we are trying to be there, these factors all come into play. You see, when you make the comparative analysis and you realize that Ghana is not pulling up as it is supposed to be, we have to ask ourselves why. Does it start from invigilation, student preparedness? Do we have the required material? So it's a broad issue. If we look at the result on the face value, and we think the children are not performing well, what cause for that? So that is what I'm saying. A whole lot of factors go into it. So we can take them one by one and digest, which will be for a different day, because currently the results we are looking at. Okay. So from where from my side of the issue, we shouldn't be so concerned with why this, because the factors that will cause somebody to perform better here might not be same for a different country.
Okay, so now let's look at the English language and mathematics.
Yeah.
Clearly, we are not doing well.
Exactly.
And its rippling effects is seen at the university level. Like I said, a lecturer who had been complaining about how students are answering questions during examination and the kind of social media language that they use in answering questions. That's a cause for worry, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You just hit on my topic for my thesis. That's what I'm researching on. The effect of social media on students' written skills is a research topic I'm doing, and I am gathering some data there. You see, let's make this thing known to our parents, to our listeners, that the figures are not encouraging. Forget about the percentage. Let me give you the actual figures. Then they will know what we are talking about. Look at, for instance, in mathematics, I am looking at these two grades that is classified as a field grade. That is the E8 and then F9. When you take mathematics, 45,526 candidates had E8. And then we have 88,631 had F9. This is in excess of 100,000 candidates failing in one subject. Let's look at English. 39,760 had E8, and then 61,778 had F9. My brother, these things are not encouraging. They are all in excess of over 100,000. Same for science, 41,686 E8, 64,184 F9. And social studies, 33,671 E8, 64,184 F9. So you see that the failure rate has exceeded 1,000. And this is a worry. You see, and I will give you the reason. Mathematics, science, English, and social studies, we treat them as the core. We are seeing it as the basis of enabling one person to enter the tertiary education. And students always have challenge with this because it is perceived that math is difficult right from KG. That is how it is perceived. It is perceived that science is for the, let me use this word, sharp brains. So if you're a science student, you should wear glasses, you should look slim, you should be, like those kind of perception we have. We let the subject scare the students. And it is because of the instructors, how they handle it. And they too will tell you that they don't have the means. You remember the last time I was telling you that teaching with kids, personally I was doing that, but I grew to realize that students will learn because of fear, not because they are learning to understand. They were doing what we call rote learning. They will learn, pass and forget. So they can't apply it in future life, or anytime they are given a situation that requires application, they'll be found wanting. And that has been the issue with the core subjects. Teachers don't have the means to teach what is supposed to teach. You go to a school and there's no instrument to teach mathematics, construction, and how do you expect the teacher to teach? Even science. How many of our schools have science laboratories that can show the children the real thing? And then you talk and they will tell you to improvise. Is everything that you can improvise? So the child goes to the exam hall, sees something, and has no idea about it. Textbooks are not coming. Teachers have been complaining, and we are here. So these subjects, since they involve a little bit of materials that the child must see, perform some actions, and get results, and we are not getting, please expect these results always. It's going to happen until we change our mindset. That's what will happen.
That's quite interesting. So how do we? I am asking this because the other time we discussed about how the syllables right now as being used, even at the basic level. I told you my daughter, who is learning something that I myself I don't get it. And it was reflective of their end of term exams. I realized that the marks that she got, some quite low because I realized she didn't even understand it. Class 1, who is now learning how to put words together, is supposed to understand words like submerged and the likes. And yesterday I was reading, I was asking myself, so class 1 is supposed to be getting used to some of these words were for what? The things that they are being taught. So it is apparently, okay, go to school, learn because we don't have any option. Now we are complaining about the senior high school. What do we do then? Oh, too bad. Let's try to raise him, and then very soon I'll be activating the line. So we are talking about the fact that per the current WASSCE results, over 45% of senior high school students who wrote the WASSCE failed, and want to know why. What can be done, especially in the area of English and maths? We are not doing well. Comparatively, Nigeria is doing far better than us. As they are around the 70s, we are around the 40s. We are not doing so much well. Of course, the aggregate, around 51%. If 51% can have access to tertiary education, why not 70? Why not 80? Chris, so I was saying that I realized the challenge, and even when you talk to, or when you speak to the headmasters and headmistresses of basic schools and even junior high schools, they're even complaining about the sort of syllables that our kids are exposed to. Some of them do not even make sense at their level, but they are supposed to learn. Even at the urban, we are complaining, and then you look at somebody who stays at Mansour Dubia, Mansour Huntado, who is staying in the hinterlands, who do not have access to what we are having in the cities. So if we want proper English language, proper mathematics, what do we do practically to ensure that these disparities will be mitigated?
Thank you very much once again. You see, I've always said that when you are trying to learn somebody's culture, it takes time. Look at a country like China. I always use them as an example. Whatever they do is in their local dialect. Chinese. Mathematics questions are written in their language, which is easily understood by all. But our situation is different. What you are saying is true. I've realized, I've gone through the syllabus, and you are even talking about English words. Do you know these children are supposed to learn coding? And ask yourself, how many teachers even understand the programming itself, coding, to the extent of teaching the children? So it is like we are always rushing with our issues, which shouldn't be the case. This is Ghana. This is our culture, and this is how we want you to go. So if at that stage, that is why learning is bringing this GLOI, Ghana Language of Instruction, I'm very happy, because right from the onset, they are teaching these children how to pronounce words, syllables, sentences in the local dialect all across the country. And that is a good practice. But the fear is when these people finish and hand over the project to the government, it will collapse, because it has happened before. So there is a vision there that we should all focus on and make it blossom. But the fear is when they are done, when Gallup is done and leaves, or when USAID is done and leave, Ghana Language of Instruction done and leave, it will collapse, because the government will just put it somewhere. And that has been our problem. How can you tell a child in that level to understand such a word? Where is the child taking that word to? Meanwhile, this child will be able to use blocks, plastic blocks, to model a house or to model a car. That is what we are talking about. Developing both the cognitive, psychomotor, and the affective. You see, the focus is always on cognition, what you can recall. And so these numbers that are failed, to you think they are not good. Gather all of them, give them a project, and you see the good ones among them. Some can actually work with their hands. Some can work with their brains, with their legs. Some can design certain things. But because the syllabus is structured in such a way that you should be able to recall, reproduce what you have been taught to be seen as successful, that is why we are having these numbers. So until we look back at our culture and then define what we want to achieve for the next 10, 20 generations, We will be going around this circle always. That is what is going to happen.
Chris, we appreciate your time, but before you leave, I want to ask, because according to some researchers, it does suggest 5% of lectures. I mean, when you lecture, only 5% of information is retained by the student. Do we blame the failure to also the teaching method, the understanding of what to do better? Because if I look at how things are made more practical and easier in the teaching of maths and even in English elsewhere, and then you come to the way we are forced to, brainstorm and rack our brains, how do you speak of that, and how do we change the narration so that it becomes more flexible and friendlier in terms of certain subject that had been tormenting us till now?
Yes, my brother, I've always maintained that the implementer of a policy is very important. It is high time government take a second look at teachers and provide them with the needed logistics. When I was in the classroom, maybe one day you will get a chance to speak with my former heads. They will tell you, if I am going to teach and I don't have the TLM, I will force them and get the money to get the material. The same way those in authority must force the government to make it available for them. You are talking about mathematics being done easy. You see, I was watching a video and the teacher was teaching geometry on a board. The teacher was using geoboard. You just go to the board, tap it, and then the shapes come. He tells them this place is called this. But the Ghanaian teacher will either have to draw it on the board or draw it on a small cardboard and paste it, which even the one at the back of the class cannot see well. So they have to be resourced. The implementers must be resourced. That is key, point one. The second thing is that we shouldn't always think that the ability to recall is the means to justify somebody as being brilliant or not. Because assessment cut across three domains. It is not only the ability to recall and then to be able to reproduce. Then the other thing that we should also look at is that premium should be placed on technology. As at this time, do you know some schools are still using chalk? As at this 21st century, most people are using geoboard. We are still using chalk. At least, if you have a marker board, it's enough. Some schools are doing well. They have projectors. They can project the slide. It makes the teaching and understanding very easier. But the traditional way of chalk, duster, by the time the teacher finishes, you have grown gray hair by force. These things, the government should take a critical look at. Provide them with the needed resources. Give them the textbooks. Give them the materials. And then motivate them. Somebody is very good. A teacher is very good at mathematics, science, English, but the passion to teach is not there. Why? Because sometimes he looks back, sees his mates in other sector and thinks that, what am I doing here? Look at me. At this age, my salary is not even good enough to even purchase a piece of land. So all these factors come into play. Now, at the end of the day, the teacher enters the classroom and it's like, let me do it anyhow and go. At the end of the day, the children are not bringing the result to my house. So it's a high time the implementer of every policy is taken care of well. And whatever needs, equipment, tools, gadgets, materials, that will make the person's delivery easier and understandable should be borne by the government and given to them. We will see a dramatic change in these results if these things can be put in place.
Chris, thank you very much.
Welcome, my brother, as usual.
Chris Danso is an educational psychologist. We want to play some editorial and then I'll activate the lines. When you join us, please tell us, what can we do to improve the low score that we are witnessing in mathematics and English? Is there anything that we can do better? Because it is really affecting the way students even answer questions at the university level? We can listen to Irene with editorial.
Still deliberating on the 2021 WASSCE results, which have sparked a conversation, obviously, because this is about the future of the human capital of Ghana. And so definitely more energy should be channeled to that. And so tonight on Decision Points, the question we ask is, how is the future like for the over 45% of candidates who fail the exams? Now, to be admitted to any program in any university here in Ghana, a candidate must have at least A1 to C6 in core mathematics, English and integrated science, that's for the science students, and social studies for the non-science students. Here is the case that 45.89% of them scored between D7 and F9 in mathematics, while 45.92% scored between D7 and F9 in English language, which means 45% approximately of the candidates who sat for the exams failed 2 core subjects needed in admission requirements into any university in Ghana. Another worrying fact for the candidates who failed is about the recent elevation of polytechnics, colleges of education, and other institutions such as the Ghana Institute of Journalism, NAFTI, and the others who would have absorbed these candidates who cannot go to the university because of their grades. So let me say, fortunately or unfortunately, because their status have been elevated, they also have an admission cutoff point of C6, just like the universities. So now let me ask again, how is the future like for these candidates? One may say the candidates can reset for November-December private WAEC exams, popularly known as NOVDEC. But let's ask ourselves honestly, how many of those candidates pass the exams? The Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei Edichum, on many platforms speak of his vision and that of the President's vision to increase Ghana's gross tertiary enrollment ratio to 40%. Currently, we are doing 18.8%. And so some months ago, he called on public universities to admit applicants with D7 results in any of the core subjects. Although currently these tertiary institutions admit D7 applicants to their diploma programs. But would they be willing to admit these students to their degree programs because the minister says so? Security analyst Dr. Adam Bona, in an interview on Joy News a couple of days ago, said the failed result is worrying and a time bomb ready to explode if care is not taken, because the devil obviously finds work for the idle hands. And so I believe stakeholders in education should come together and find alternative solutions to some of these issues, and also possible ways of curbing these failures in the results in the subsequent years.
Okay, the lines are active. Let's hear you. Decision point. What will be your decision? On Love 99.5, please call us and let's talk. 03220 83596. 03220-83597 and 03220-83598. 03220-83596, 03220-83597 and 03220-83598. We are closing at 8, so if you want to call, please be fast. Hello, good evening. Please speak up. Your name?
My name is Samuel.
Okay, Samuel, you're on air. Decision point.
Yes. In fact, I am more frightened than you are, because I am in the system and I know what is going on. In fact, the result you are even trying, that it is not encouraging. I can tell you that in that that result is the result, yes, not the result of death. You can take it or leave it. I am saying that if they were allowed to write independent without any, it would have been more disastrous. So it's something that we have to look at it holistically.
Okay, thank you, Samuel, for your input. I have Ken on the line. Ken, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, you're on air. Decision point.
Okay. I hope you're doing well.
I am.
Nana, the man that you spoke to, I think he said, but the part that he said, when Ghanaian people are taking exams, we are strict on them. For that one, I will tell you, that was in the olden days. But currently, it's not like that. Because I'm a teacher myself. Recently, the people who took the BEC, I'm telling you the fact that we wrote the BEC for them. We, the teachers, we wrote it for them. I called Kwadwo Jantuah myself to complain about it. But he needed more proof, which, of course, I was kind of querying myself, giving all the details to him. It's too bad. We are not helping the kids. We are not helping them. And then the part that he was saying, teachers need TLM to teach. None of it's true. But are our leaders going to listen and then do the right thing? Because this is the case that they are forcing us. They force us to buy laptops where we don't even have the scheme or textbook to teach. But because they will get something from the laptop, they force us to buy it. Or even, I wouldn't call it buy, because we've paid for it and then it has not been given to us. Most of us have not gotten it. How do you buy something that you don't even have, you don't even see it? Nana, it's too bad.
All right. Thank you, Ken. You can also call. I want to understand, WASSCE results poor in mathematics, not a good score in English. What do we do to increase the value of education in those areas? 03220-835-96, 835-97, and 835-98. 03220-835-98, 835-97, and 835-96. Aita, good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Aita, you're on a decision point.
Sure, I'm calling from Bosomchin.
Right.
I think there's less also I couldn't monitor the show, but I have monitored later part of it. One thing is I'm a teacher myself.
Right.
And I teach at the basic level.
Okay.
Just recently, I heard the education minister advocating that or telling the general public that they are going to make the textbooks available for effective teaching and learning. That is good because you have changed the curriculum. The next thing, once you are changing it, all the TLMs should be available. The textbooks, everything should be available. So immediately the policy is being implemented, the people should be taken through what is being written in the textbooks, but we don't have them. And these same cases are coming to the SHS. So tell me, are we building a nation with a solid foundation or weak foundation? Just recent BEC, like what my brother said, I teach mathematics. And we don't have a single textbook in the book. In the school. So what I did is I forced the people to buy the book, Accurate Math book. If you don't have it, I need to use force because the government has not provided any textbooks in the school. And one thing is, after the BEC, they will assess you, the teacher, your performance. They will call for spam and ask you why the people fail, maybe in mathematics, in the general public, knowing very well that they don't have what it takes to pass the questions. So what the teacher will do is we will go there and assess them because I don't want my school to fail. That's the whole thing. Like what my brother said, we are writing the exams for them, even at the SHS level. The teachers rather partake in the exams. Now, after the exam, they rate the schools that maybe Lempe had the overall best in the Ashanti region, Atinekrum had the least or was the last. Now, the teachers want their schools to be counted among the poor. So the teachers will take part in the making sure that they also get maybe a place or people will be admitted at the places. That is it. That's the reality.
Okay, I am interested in what you're saying. Maybe we'll put a certain number. When you are done, you can call us and then we'll speak further.
Okay.
Thank you. Albert, good evening.
Good evening, boss.
Yes, you're on a decision point.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate. You see, they have introduced a new curriculum, 2 years, no books, no teaching and learning material. So how do you expect the teachers to teach with the appropriate, content? Where do they get the content from? Brother. Now, they have forced a laptop for the teachers. A laptop that's my Samsung phone. The one in my Samsung phone is even better than that laptop. They forced it on the neck of the teachers. Some of the teachers even, I'm a teacher, I have a laptop. So what do I use that laptop for? You force it on me. But you can't even get us the materials to teach. It's so sad. Now, like my brother was saying, they rank the schools in the district, right? So if a teacher, your subject, you fail your subject, they will call you and question you. So what do you expect the teacher to do? At the end of the day, he will be at the center and try to maneuver his way through to help the kids.
All right. Albert, thank you. So it's a wrap. I want to thank you for today. Remember that Decision Point now closes at 8, and we thank you for your input. We want to thank the production team, Eugene Osei-Tutu and Irene Puma. Thank you for that editorial. Joel, thank you for the social media work, and to our executive producer, DJ Apuzo. My name is Nana Jantuah, and tomorrow is Love in the Morning. Up next is The Hook. Enjoy every bit of the show. Good evening.